Yeah. Now, I did find the actual instructions. Yes. This requirement of law that you do not say that you have to enforce. Yes. The law requires the order to say if the respondent received notice of the hearing and by what method. Now, it would require a court order for service by mail. Yes. It would require a court order for service by publication. Yes. Would it require a court order for some other method of personal service or service of court hearings? Yes. Now, Judge Brent Baisden needed to verify that service complied with court rules timely and proper. So the judge will probably complete this portion for you. Yes. Now, you didn't give me personal service. There was no service by mail, no service by publication. You said that you could issue a court order because it's not what the law doesn't say that. The law requires the order to say, this is something that has to happen before you have court hearings. There is the requirements of the law to be able to issue a court order. Now, it looks to me that the newly elected sheriff of Clallam County does not believe the requirements of the law. As a father, I do believe the requirements. I believe that you do have to serve the respondent prior to having court hearings. Yes. Now, the order needs to list your relationship to the respondent in order for law enforcement to determine if federal firearm laws apply to your case. Please check all boxes that define your relationship to the respondent. Law enforcement data entry. Uh, the judge can grant, deny, or change any provision you write in the order. Yes. Now, Brent Baisden decided he was going to be the father of my 5 sons and he was going to be the husband of my wife. And you decided that you would never allow for a citizen to tell you what the law says. See, this whole idea of me motioning a court that does not do I don't motion courts that don't do what the requirements of law are. A court that does not enforce the civil and legal rights of a parent, I don't motion that court. I don't play some sort of, well, I'm going to have to get a job and I'm going to have to pay child support. Ooch. I'm going to have to get a house and I'm going to have mental health evaluations. Ooch. I'm going to have to jump through every fucking hoop of the court because you're the court and I'm the citizen. I don't do that. As a citizen of the United States, when the court doesn't do what the law requires, yes, I, as a citizen, inform law enforcement when the court violates the law. Now, law enforcement has refused to acknowledge the actual laws of the United States. You just said you didn't have to enforce them. You don't have to enforce the fucking law. Now, this gives an example of the service of the order. Oh. Unless the respondent or the respondent's lawyer was present at the hearing, this order must be served on the respondent. The respondent must know what restraint provisions are in place and when the order expires. You may choose service by law enforcement agency. Yeah. I would think that would be personal service. A hired professional process server. That would be personal service. Yes. Another person 18 or over who is not a party to this action. That would be personal service. Yes. Mail or publication, not mail and. If the judge previously entered an order allowing service by mail or publication, you can use mail or publication. Oh. Now, I just wanted to make sure that you understand, right? This court order for mail or publication, what did you do in 2013? Mail and publication. you happen to violate the requirements of the law. Now we can just sit on that lawsuit because every lawsuit that I've documented, if I never have another one, I'm absolutely sure of the liability to every individual in law enforcement, yes, that doesn't understand the requirements of the law. Now, the court does not have jurisdiction over the parties, the minors, and the subject matter. Oh, the respondent did not get reasonable notice and an opportunity to be heard. As the named respondent, I did not get notice of court hearings. I never received any opportunity to be heard. You never protected my rights as a father. From the day that Heidi got to Clallam County in 2011, this court, this judiciary, and this law enforcement has never protected my rights as a father. I think, that as a father, the father of 5 sons, did not have reasonable notice and an opportunity to be heard. Notice of the hearing that was served on the father was not served on the father of the 5 sons. Now, if you change the word respondent, yes, to father, as in the father of 5 sons, you will see there's a completely different interpretation of the laws. Now, you've decided to separate yourselves from the actual individuals involved in this case. The mother, known as Heidi Budnick, versus the father, known as Paul Budnick. Yes. Yes. Paul Budnick, the father of 5 sons, did not receive notice and an opportunity to be heard. Notice of the hearing was not served on Paul Budnick, the father of 5 sons, by personal